Greetings and welcome to Alonzo Bash Podcast. I'm your host, Alonzo Bash, and today's special guest, director, producer Adam Bartholomew and Barry Bartholomew are here to talk about PANAZZ The Story. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hey, Alonzo. Good to be here.
Good.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Nice. All right. So let's kick it off, man. So let's start with Adam Bartholomew. Adam, I understand you're a student at Harvard University, and that's pretty much where the idea and the concept came together.
Yes, so 2 years ago, I was taking a musicology class at Harvard that focused on musical entities since 1945 that have been pivotal in pushing boundaries in society and in the world of music. And for the final project for that class, we had to choose an ensemble or a musical artist of our choice that we felt fit that description. So because I've grown up hearing stories about PANAZZ by my uncle, Barry Bartholomew, who was the leader of the steelpan ensemble, and listening to their music in the car with their CDs,
Yes.
I thought that what they were able to accomplish made them fit the description of this project perfectly. So I got in touch with Uncle Barry, who's in Trinidad, and asked him if he could help me to organize interviews with some of the key players in the band.
Yes.
So I flew home for that spring break, and he pulled in 4 of the key players, himself, Dane Gulston, Natasha Joseph, and Donnell Thomas, and we conducted interviews with them. And he provided me with all the archival photos and videos he could find, as well as all of the band CDs. And
Yes.
I spent the next few months editing it all together, and I eventually submitted it to my professor and received an A. And Uncle Barry was like, "This is so good, we should get it submitted into the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival."
Yes.
And so thankfully it got in, and we spent that summer collaborating to further refine it and enhance it, adding in more interviews that Uncle Barry was able to coordinate with some of the other players who weren't included in the initial version. And then thankfully it actually won the People's Choice Award at the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival in September of that year. And then the following year, Uncle Barry had the idea, a couple more ideas to add into the film. So we resumed our collaboration once more to enhance the film. We got in touch with Graham Carr, who's a sound engineer based in London, and the Halo post-production facility in London to get the film made into a digital cinema package, which is compatible with theaters around the world. And we got it put into surround sound. So now what we have is a film about a revolutionary steelpan ensemble that's ready for the world to see.
Nice. So is it fair to call it a movie documentary?
Yes.
All right. Nice. All right, Mr. Barry. Good day. When you first heard about this idea, when Adam reached out to you, what was your first initial thought?
That he was joking. Only because at the time, it was just sprung onto me. There was no forward advance notice. So I was mentally not prepared, obviously, to delve back 30 years into that time, which was a very special time. So I knew that I had to help him, obviously, to get his grade in Harvard. So there was no saying no. There was no saying no. But he flew down the next day and went into the kitchen. I'm a chef, by the way. Went into my kitchen and
cooking.
And a few mixed cocktails of vodka and rum and gin. That helped me settle myself, and it flowed from there.
Yeah. So what was the first initial step after Adam came and you guys had a direction of what you wanted to do? How was it reaching out to the past members and so forth? How did that go?
Yeah. Well, for me, it was very emotional because, of course, I haven't seen a number of those players for a while. Some of them I'm in touch with, but there are some who I have lost touch with for maybe over 20 years. But the key players, Donnell Thomas, Natasha Joseph, and Dane Gulston, I'm in touch with them, so that wasn't too bad. So they gladly came across initially just to help Adam get his project done. We were not thinking about a movie to be shown anywhere else besides in Harvard for his exam, But we still came through and did it, and it was interesting because I started off. Adam asked me the first question, "How did it begin?" And then it started rolling from there. I then found myself giving the exact timeline of the 10 years, step by step by step by step by step by step by step. And it started to flow like that, and all the memories started to come back. And I guess when Adam had that kind of timeline now, it was a help to him to know how to sort of merge and piece together all the interviews that we did after me. You know, Adam would ask similar questions to all the players in the room, and each answer would be a little different for interest. And Adam did a great job splicing that all together.
Okay, nice. So understand PANAZZ itself, the band, won about 4 consecutive panoramic competitions.
Well, the first year we entered, we didn't have our own instrument, so therefore we had to use the instruments of another band. That band was Potential Symphony. In Malik, and we had just 2 players from that band who we incorporated in our band. I went and found the best players from all the big bands in Trinidad, All Stars especially. The majority of the players came from All Stars. There was 1 Renegades player, there was 2 Desperados players, and there was of course 2 from Potential Symphony in Malik. And the main search was to try and find players who had that ability or the knowledge of how to improvise on a progression and improvise spontaneously. Because in the competition, you play the basic verse and chorus, and it's your turn. Go, 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 go. You know, and you got to know your chords. So that's where we excelled in the competition. So the first year we won under Potential Symphony. And we entered for 3 years after that, and we won a hat trick under PANAZZ. And then we pulled out and started touring.
All right, nice. How the name PANAZZ came together?
Well, it may sound very simple. There was a Pan Jazz thing here in Trinidad, a Pan Jazz concert every other year. With international groups, of course, brought in conventional instruments. But when I removed, of course, the J from the jazz and put just PANAZZ, it had a nice pizzazz kind of feel to it, and it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, nice. All right, so Adam, how was the understand you guys were fortunate to get some sponsors and so forth, both in the private sector. I understand the government at the time, obviously the new government now, the government at the time also played a part in putting this whole project together.
So we got the Ministry of Trade and Industry as well as HADCO Experiences and MITCO on involved. So Uncle Barry, I don't know if you want to speak more about that.
So I felt brave one day and I said, let me just call the head of HADCO. Most they would say is no, but I did know him, John Haddad, just casually, and he was also working with me on my food as well. He would collaborate with some meals that I do together, and John was instantly on board, as was the Minister of Trade back then, Paula Gopi-Schoon. He was supportive from the word go. And of course, HADCO are the sponsors of MITCO, the steelpan factory. And therefore, it was a triple help from both MITCO, HADCO, and Ministry of Trade. And that was mostly to fund the big cost, the huge cost of the transferring an iPhone recording into surround sound for international standards, you know? So I'm very grateful to those people.
So when you guys won the People's Choice Awards back in 2023, was that the original piece? You mentioned back you also had it redone, I guess, added the sarong song and all these different things. So was that done prior to 2023 or day after?
Well, that was, I would say, like the project, I think, was roughly divided into 3 phases. The first version was the part that I put together for the final project for my class at Harvard, which was due in May of 2023. Then Uncle Barry and I spent that summer collaborating to further enhance that and add a few more interviews with some of the other players in time for the film festival in 2023. So that's like the second phase, I guess. And then the following summer, we worked on it even more. So what ended up being shown in the film festival and what ended up winning the People's Choice Award was like something in between what it is now and what it started off as.
We also had one of my ideas for the improvement was to get, of course, as you mentioned, surround sound, but also to get visuals of Trinidad and Tobago interspliced in the movie. Just to make it more appealing from a tourism point of view, and also to showcase the country, But it also gave us the opportunity to raise the volume of our high quality recordings, and just have visuals being shown as opposed to just background music behind the interviews, So it makes it more of a package, and also the actual ending of the story was more true to life. And that's where the emotions came out, where we really dug deep as to why the band ended,
What's the movie industry like in Trinidad?
The local movie industry?
Yes.
Well, all I know of it really is that there's a biannual film festival held here every year. And there are a lot of very good people involved in making films locally, and of course in the Caribbean as well. It's really a Caribbean film festival that we hold here. There aren't too many, I'll be honest, as far as constant flow of local movies. And that needs to be improved, no doubt, just to document so many different stories in Trinidad, And thanks for Adam for choosing the band, and thanks to the professors for throwing the challenge out to Adam to choose the band. Because now we have something that the world can see forever,
Yes. So Adam, I mean, now that you sit back and you guys actually seen the fruit of your labor, did you have a foresight that this particular project from school would have turned out to be such a big project?
Well, I thought it would have been possible, because you never know what can happen in the future. And I think when I initially had the idea to make the film, I thought, perhaps there would be a possibility that it could be more than just something I submit to my university. And I think that that's sort of why, when I set out to make the film, I was so motivated to go above and beyond what was required for the project, because I felt like this is more than just a school project, but a passion project. And so when I had the support from Uncle Barry to submit it to the film festival, that confirmed in my mind of what it was capable of, and it was sort of like an ambitious idea that I had a couple of months before actually coming to fruition. So I'm really grateful to have had that support and belief from Uncle Barry.
Yes. Well, I mean, I think it's great, man. It's one of those things that you seem to be the man for the job. Young, and you also had from the outside looking in, you came in with a whole different perspective, and both of you guys putting your head together, I think was definitely great for the culture. Now, Mr. Barry, I'm going to ask you, because most of us are familiar with Panorama, right? And Panorama J is kind of, I would say the sister to Panorama, if that's the word to use. I understand. Unfortunately, it's no longer wrong. So I wanted to kind of elaborate the difference between Panorama J and Panorama.
Right. So Panorama is held every carnival season in here, and it's the biggest rivalry competition. Very exciting. Lots of peacock and just the whole experience in a panyard can last up to 2 months. Just learning one selection that's popular on the airwaves, and the arranger will elaborate that arrangement into 10 minutes. 10 minutes is the maximum time for a Panorama song. As I said, it's very competitive and exciting, and until you experience it yourself live, it's hard to explain, but it's a mammoth animal. Whereas Panorama J is when it's out of the carnival season. It's jazz. It's smaller sides. It's maybe a different demographic, not as much youths involved. But definitely a very keen competition while it lasted. But without the frenzy of carnival surrounding it, And Ramajé, of course, the main reason for Ramajé is to promote small ensembles and to help bands get into the spirit of improvising and improving their talent and skills as musicians.
Yes. All right, so guys, I want you guys to, I guess in your own words, kind of break down what can people expect from this movie documentary, because I myself obviously was born and obviously, but if you don't know, I was born and raised in Trinidad, And as most Trinidadians may we have this biasness in our brain that we already know about pan and we already know about, the culture itself of Trinidad. And that could be a plus and a negative. So what are some of the things you think folks need to know about this particular movie?
Adam? Sorry, can you 1 second? Just want to charge this thing before it dies. Go ahead, Adam.
Well, I think this is a film that tells the personal story of one particular band.
Yes.
But it's a band that was groundbreaking and went above and beyond with regards to their music, their performance, and the way they took the steelpan to the world stages of Boston Symphony Hall and Japan. I think in telling this personal story, you really get to the heart of what enabled them to be so successful, which had a lot to do with the family bond that they developed.
Yes.
And so I think this tells the very human story of what is possible when people come together. And so I think that it appeals not only to people who are interested in pan or people who are interested in music, but to anybody. And so this is a film for people who love pan, because I think for those people, they will be amazed at the variety and excellence that was achieved by this small ensemble. But then also for people who know nothing about pan, it's a perfect first exposure to the instrument because of the beauty and excellence of the music that this band produced. And I think there's no better way to experience that than in a cinema where the music is in surround sound and you're getting to experience the music in high fidelity. And I think also what comes with this film is that it's a vessel for not only steelpan, but sort of like our whole culture and our whole history as well. So I think it's a really powerful vessel for promoting our country and by extension, the Caribbean region to the world.
Yes, nice. Mr. Barry, same applies to you?
Yeah, I missed what Adam has said there for the most part, but the question was about what does the movie bring to somebody seeing it for the first time? Is that right?
Yeah, somewhat, yes. Also, like, to kind of take away some of the biasness, like I would say, I'm from Trinidad, so you might say to myself, well, what about pan that I already do? I think I already have a foresight of what the movie is about, which in most cases is not true.
Right. I would say that anybody coming to see the movie will be somewhat surprised to what they thought it would be about. Because it's really just a movie about the human spirit trying to succeed with an instrument. And what's beautiful is it's our national instrument. But any musician can relate to it, whether you play violin or saxophone or piano, because we all have the same goals, the same hard rehearsals, the same improvising, the same everything. So it's really very open to anybody involved in music or the arts. And it'll tend to touch you more than you expect.
Okay. Well, we're definitely looking forward. I myself definitely looking forward to seeing the movie itself. I know it will be featured or premiere rather in the DC area for DC Caribbean Film Festival from June the 6th to the 12th. Kicks off this Friday actually at June the 6th at 7 p.m. at AFI Silver Theater and Cultural Center. Adam, I also understand that at Harvard, and we're going to talk about Harvard for a while because, a lot has been going on off lately with the political space. I understand at Harvard, you also was instrumental in putting together a steel band orchestra. Am I correct on that?
Yes. And so when I first got to Harvard 3 years ago, I did a pre-orientation program for the international students, and I was placed in a group with a girl whose name is Elizabeth Bennett and she's from England. And coincidentally, we both grew up playing pan.
Yes.
Even though she's from England, she had a steel band teacher in her school who used to come to Trinidad and played with Renegades for about 10 years and brought that culture to England where she was from.
Yes.
And so from our very first conversation, we joked about the possibility of starting a steel band ensemble. And then as we kept in touch as the year progressed, we actually worked towards making it happen. And then it came down to a matter of just us getting all the approval done to become a recognized student organization, until all that was left was to get the funding to purchase the instruments. And we'd been in contact with MITCO from about 2 or 3 years before, but just didn't have the funding to purchase the set of instruments. But then last summer, when Uncle Barry and I approached MITCO, Hardcore Experiences, and the Ministry of Trade and Industry to get funding for our film to be mastered, we asked if in exchange for featuring MITCO's advertisement at the start of our film, if part of the contribution to us could be in the form of steel pans. So half the instruments were obtained for the Harvard College Steel Pan Ensemble through the sponsorship of the film PANAZZ.
Yes.
And that paved the way for us to attain a full set of instruments, such that in September 2024, we were able to start rehearsing with players, most of whom have never played the steel pan before.
Wow.
And we've performed at least about 5 to 7 times on campus.
Wow, nice.
And it's really been a dream come true to bring our national instrument to an institution like Harvard.
Yes, very, very historic, and very historic. I mean, Harvard, that's top of the cream, as they would call it. Mr. Barry, sidebar real quickly. You yourself is a local celebrity in Trinidad. I've seen your your video have gone viral with your cooking. If you want to touch base on that really quickly,
Yeah. All right, sure. Well, basically, when PANAZZ closed off, I was in a bit of a struggle as to what to do with my life, to be honest, because that was my life for 10 years, especially touring and whatnot. So I had to dig deep and find. I did a film production course in Rockport, Maine, that was not necessarily, wasn't really gelling with me. So I kind of gave up on that. That was kind of money sort of down the drain. But it was a great experience. But I was in a class below my depth. Each person had like experience at ESPN and NBC and whatnot. I don't know. I had nothing. But I learned a lot, just the basic rules and how much it takes just to do a commercial, because that was my final exam, doing a commercial.
Yes.
And so then I said, okay, I love to cook, and could that be a possibility? And when I called my family in Trinidad, they were all like, duh, obviously, go to culinary school. So my sister helped me out with that as well financially, and I went to the Institute of Culinary Education on 23rd Street.
Okay.
Did a culinary course there, and of course, I felt instantly at home in this profession.
Yes.
Because I was cooking for the band on tour with PANAZZ for the full series, And now I'm known as Chef Finbar, because Finbar is my birth name, not that. So and things have really taken off on social media and all these bloggers and whatnot, and it's crazy the kind of reaction it's giving,
Nice. Well, congratulations on that as well. So this is the first time you guys actually did this type of work officially, right? Do you guys foresee doing another project similar to, because a lot of times I believe our culture, especially in Trinidad, is so rich with limbo. Of course, you mentioned a pan. Of course, you got mass. You have so many different type of cultural aspects in Trinidad that I believe that the world need to see on the screen. Is this something that you guys, moving forward, think you might want to get into?
Well, I can move that question across to Adam. I personally no. I mean, unless I'm really interested in Adam to go down the road, but my focus is really on my chef life right now. Adam is exploring.
Well, I think this film was really the first time I've made and edited a film of this scale. And in the long process of making it, I've realized I really do love the medium of film as a means of artistic and creative expression, and I see its power of bringing stories and conveying emotion to people. So I am hoping to sort of continue along this vein and keep exploring filmmaking. And I do definitely have a big passion. Something I've realized since coming to university is that just how much I love our country, Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm hoping to use that passion that I have to create more stories that shine lights on other people who have great stories to tell and whose stories need to be heard.
Yes, yes. We're definitely looking forward to those, upcoming projects. So I'm going to ask you.
I'll keep Adam fed while he's doing that.
Yeah.
You like
I do.
Okay. So Adam, I'm going to ask you. Obviously, right now in the political space, there's a lot of, I know the word controversy, but a lot of conversations in reference to Harvard University, of course,
Yeah.
with immigration and stuff like that. Has that affected you or any of your colleagues on campus?
Yeah, well, it's definitely really crazy what's going on right now and super unprecedented.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I'm a dual citizen, so I have US citizenship as well as Trinidad and Tobago citizenship. So
Okay.
it doesn't affect me directly, but some of my friends from Trinidad and from the international community are definitely affected. And we
Yes.
don't know what's going to happen in the next coming months and if they'll be even able to return to the university. And it's just so sad
Yes.
because like these are people who have worked so hard their whole lives just to get here,
Yes.
so that they can have the platform upon which they can achieve great things in the world and be leaders and take the world forward. But sadly, this is a huge speed bump in the way
Yes.
if it comes to fruition. And it would not only be detrimental to the US but to the entire world. So we really hope that by the time September comes, everything could resolve itself and we can carry on as we were before.
Yes. Yes. Wow. All right. At this time, I pretty much want to open up the platform. If anything you guys want to add, before we zip it up.
I just hope that as many people as possible get to see the movie internationally, and come out, with your open mind as to what you think you're coming to experience.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to just chatting with, once I can get to the location and we have support like that.
Yes.
Speaking to you afterwards and seeing, what motivated you in the movie, and it's just a way of spreading the instrument internationally, and that's important.
Yes. Adam?
Yeah, I'm super excited for people around the world, starting first in Washington on June 6th to see the film and for it to fulfill its potential of being that vessel for Trinidad and Tobago's history and culture and telling this beautiful story of this groundbreaking brand, PANAZZ.
Just to mention before you go, I mean, I can give a list. We're off to Washington, D.C., where the opening film of the film festival there on Friday.
Yes.
I fly back from there to join Adam in Barbados. We have 2 shows in Barbados at the Barbados Museum. One first show is for students, 300 students that Adam will do. The next day afterwards on Sunday is for an adult show in a combination of a jazz show.
Okay.
Then we also asked to be a part of the Windrush Film Festival in London.
Okay.
That's going to happen in June. We are scheduled to go to Japan in October to visit Tokyo and Osaka, to the steelpan community there.
Yeah.
Of course, Japan is just much respected in Japan.
Yes.
And then also, Alvin Daniel is doing a screening at AMC Theater in Miami just prior to the Miami Carnival.
Okay.
We are going to New York, hopefully, for the United Nations Steelpan Week.
Wow.
We're hoping for a Tribeca, have a 1,000-seater auditorium, which hopefully will come to pass. We now have Carib on board, which is very exciting for us.
Nice.
So hopefully that can be something to work out there. It's crazy what's happening right now with the movie,
Wow, a lot of dates, man. A lot of travel dates, man. It seemed like you'd be living out of a suitcase for a couple of months.
It's been exhausting organizing that while cooking at the same time.
Yeah, that's nice, man. All right, so guys, a couple of months ago, I implemented this segment on the podcast. It's a book that I actually purchased some years ago, and I just picked up the book, of lately. And the name of the book is called 2,000 Questions About Me. So what I decided to do is to turn those 2,000 questions into my guests. So you pick a number from 1 to 2,000, and whatever that number you pick, that's a question that's going to be asked. So
okay. I would say 1990. 1996, our first concert in Central Bank Auditorium in Trinidad.
1996. All right. Okay, so 1996. Now, okay, this is a fair question. It may or may not apply, but we'll ask it anyway. What does the American dream means to you?
Jesus. How timely is this?
Well, you know what? I'm going to rephrase that question because that's not a fair question to ask. How about this? I'm going to ask you, what does this movie documentary means to you? How about that?
Okay. I mean, it means a lot to me just to have it documented to begin with, and it's brought a whole generation aware of PANAZZ that they would not have known of. You know, I mean, PANAZZ was loved by a generation, yes, and till the day we died, we'll be loved by them.
Yes.
But now there's a new generation as well included. You know.
Yeah.
So that's my answer. I was going to come with something very funny to tell you what the other question was.
Yeah, I don't think that was a fair question to ask. All right, Adam, man, what's your number?
Okay, I'll go with 1976, which is the year Trinidad became a republic.
Okay, 1976. All right, fair enough. 1976. Let me go. All right, 1976. I just saw it right here. 1976. All right, here we go. Why did you choose your current profession?
Well, I don't know if we could call it a profession yet, since I'm still in school. But if we go with filmmaking, I would say, I guess reiterating what I did before, before is that I've just realized in making this film, PANAZZ The Story, that film is really such a powerful medium, considering it to other forms of expression in bringing things to life. Telling stories in an immersive and emotional way. And I just hope to keep making more films that are able to do that and tell important stories that need to be told.
Yes. Well, I definitely want to take this time to thank you guys so much for, your contribution to the art and the culture. Really, really appreciate it. I highly encourage everyone to, come out and support the movie doc PANAZZ, and of course, understand PANAZZ has some albums too. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, we have 5 albums, which is huge compared to most steel bands. I mean, to have 5 albums is a major accomplishment, you know.
Yes.
So we're proud of those 5 albums, including the Christmas album. So it's all available on every platform to download.
Nice. Also, what's the social media? People can find you guys on social media.
Yeah, it's on Facebook page PANAZZ The Story. And there's also another page called PANAZZplayers.com, Adam.
I think it's PANAZZthestory.com as well.
PANAZZ The Story.
Yes. Also, Adam, the what's the Instagram for the Harvard Pan Orchestra?
So you can follow the Harvard College Steelpan Ensemble at Harvard College Steelpan.
All right, nice. All right, guys, thank you so much. Much appreciation. All the best moving forward. Then, keep up the great works.
Thank you very much.
All right. Give thanks.
Have a good one.
Nice.